YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy, the Clipper Doctor, with a small little versus review style of a video in reference to the old Andis Zero Guard and the new Andis Zero Guard. So I'm a big fan of the older style of the Andis Zero Guard. The reasons why, it's probably the reasons why people want something like this one. I prefer the long version of this guard simply because it was one that, in my opinion, I don't know, it just seemed like it cuts a little bit better. It gets right through there, and some would say this is the more fade blade style, which I can kind of agree. This was made more or less like a fade blade. I didn't have much problems with this guard getting through hair. However, there are some who say, hey, it seemed like it wasn't gliding the right way, or whatever reason they don't want to say that. So me personally, I like this one a little bit better. And I believe it gets a little bit, I believe it can handle bulk just fine as far as when you're trying to fade that next line out. I like these tips here. They're pretty precise in my opinion. Some will say sharp. I think they're precise. So when you're going for a dark spot, I mean, it just gets right in there where you need it to be. So that's my opinion. However, Andis has decided to change over to this style of same Zero Guard. It's definitely a difference if you can see the two. I mean, the new guard is significantly shorter, and I'm big on being able to comb through the hair. And maybe it makes a difference, maybe it doesn't, but my clientele base is more curly hair, African American style hair, and this one here, it just doesn't cut it like this one, because if you have an African American or curly style of hair, this right here is really not giving much room. If you look at the two, it's not giving much room to pass through hair, versus this one here, which it can lift up and pass through. This one is just right there. So you'll have to have, I've personally experienced more having to do more runs with this guard than I did this one. But some say, hey, if you look it to the side, this one has more of a tapered style versus this one has having a more fade style to it, if you can see that. So I guess the question is, which one is your favorite? Like I said, this is my favorite, and the reason why I still have this, although this is broken, is because I can't find this guard anymore anywhere else. I can still cut hair just fine without this part, but if I get rid of this guard, I'm going to have to be forced to keep this guard. And so I'm going to try to hang on to this guard as long as I can. I promise you, if I can find a way to salvage or scavenge somehow and find this guard, I'm going to get it as much as I can. You cannot find this one on eBay, Amazon, or anywhere online. And even if they show this photo, normally you're going to get this guard. So beware in the advertisement that you may see, because though they may say it's this guard, it's most likely going to be this one. My hope in the future is that Andis decides to allow both options to be available, so that if you like this one more, you can get this one, and vice versa with this one here. So, I mean, we'll see. Andis has been doing some great things, especially with the Andis cordless master. I'm definitely glad about that clipper. I mean, it's just, I'm happy about it. So, but I'm hoping that they go ahead and make this available again. Sort of like how they had the Andis Fat Master blade. At one point it was sold out or discontinued and they brought it back. I'm hoping and I'm hopeful that they'll do the same thing with this guard. Until then, when these are phased out, meaning broken or, unusable, it looks like for a little while, fellas and ladies, we're going to have to get used to this Zero Guard. So, and like I said, some say it's more of a tapered fade or a tapered look. So it goes against in this direction here, and you can scoop versus this one here, where it's more of this direction, which I'm fine with, especially with it being that low of a guard. Now, when you get into bigger hair, I can understand that, but this here is just fine. I mean, I'm a natural scoop technique anyway, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see, you all. I mean, to me, if you look at the clips here, let me see if I can get it to focus on them. Now, and by clips, I mean these little things under here that holds the blade. I mean, this looks like if you zero gap your clippers, let me just put it this way. If you zero gap your clippers, chances are after a few passes, you're probably gonna get way more chips here than you did here. And the reason being is because this is pretty thick right here. So as we know, when you zero gap clippers, normally they start taking out chunks of what's left of here because they're so close together. But with this one here, you don't see much of what do you call it? You don't see much meat to tag onto here. I mean, this doesn't seem like it'll last that long at all. In my opinion, this guard overall doesn't look nearly as durable as this one. I mean, just pound for pound. I mean, you can't. I'm not really a fan of it. However, it looks like eventually I'm going to have to use it, especially at the rate of these are going. So anyway, this wasn't meant to be a long video. Just let me know what you all think. Which one is your favorite and why? And if you all are really hopeful that Andis will change back to this, or in my opinion, give us the best of both worlds and give us both zero guards. Maybe call this a vintage zero guard or a Gen 1 zero guard. I mean, something like that. It would be awesome. Zero guard, magnetic, double magnetic, of course. But I mean, I guess we'll see. So let me know what you think. Comment. Please make sure you subscribe and also like this video. Let's get a little bit of dialogue going on, see what we can come up with, guys and ladies. So again, it's the Clipper Doctor. I appreciate you all watching. Y'all take care. God bless.